Let's talk real quick about some common marketer mistakes. You may be making some of these. Now, I've been stressing this again and again in this course. The world of digital marketing is changing quickly. And if you look back at history, you can learn so much about potentially what's coming in the future. And I've always, for whatever reason, I've kind of had a knack for that, because as I get so involved and entrenched in this digital marketing world, it being my life, maybe how it is for you if you've been doing this for any period of time, you can kind of see what's coming ahead. Well, things are getting very competitive online as more people come online and market online, as internet marketing, digital marketing, whatever you want to call it, is all over the world now. It's commonplace. Every business is doing it, or they need to do it. Well, because of all that, because it's getting more and more complex and more crowded, there's just less margin for error. You can't really make mistakes anymore, or make many of them if you're going to make much money. And certainly, the fewer mistakes you make, and if you can eliminate your mistakes, that's how you dominate your market, or that's how you beat your competitors, because most people are still making mistakes in all the different markets. But the ones that make fewer and fewer mistakes are the ones that are going to do better and better. So I want you to be the marketer that makes fewer and fewer mistakes. So one of the big mistakes marketers make is not doing calculations on individual traffic sources. I can't stress this enough, and not only on individual traffic sources, on individual campaigns. So if we take a traffic source, let's say Facebook, you're going to run Facebook ads to drive traffic from Facebook. That's a traffic source. If you're going to do posting on Facebook, where you're posting with an account or with a Facebook page for your business, that's a different traffic source. I consider it a different traffic source. So buying ads on Facebook is one traffic source. Posting ads and doing things organically is another traffic source. But running different types of ads targeted to different demographics and in different ways, those are traffic campaigns. And then a traffic campaign can have different ads inside of it. But we want to do calculations and track things on a campaign level. You can create one campaign for one traffic source that could make you $5,000 a month profit in your business. So you really have to put focus on individual campaigns. Most marketers make the mistake, they just combine all the numbers together and divide it all up, and they say, I spent this, I returned this, I'm making a profit, no need to do any other work. That's not good enough for us in the Traffic Secrets community here. We're going to really maximize the profit we make, which maximize the income you make in your business, by eliminating mistakes, lowering our overall costs, increasing our overall activity, conversions, and sales, and ultimately increasing our profits so we can really make more money in your business. That's where it's going to come from, and we got to eliminate these mistakes and get really serious down to a granular level on things for traffic generation based on campaign, profit, loss, all the good stuff we're getting ready to talk about, and how that works, and how we get to that, how we improve. So that's important. So the other common mistake is marketers don't recognize conversion outliers and data anomalies. Now we're getting kind of nerdy here, and it's going to get kind of nerdy from here on out in the course. I've been kind of taking it easy on you, but now we're really going to step things up and get really more serious with the math and the science and statistics, which for me is exciting because, again, that's where the money is made. But a conversion outlier is simply where you can make a conversion. So let's say you do get a sale for a campaign or from a certain traffic source or a few sales, but the majority of your sales don't come from that area. Let's say you targeted a certain age group, and most of your sales come from age 45 to 65. Let's say it's males. That's your core demographic. But you made a couple of sales or even one sale from the 20 to 25 age group. Well, the problem with conversion outliers like that is you may start making decisions based on that data. Where you're like, oh, I need to now target the 20 to 25-year-olds in everything I do because I clearly made a sale there, so they're going to buy there. That's false thinking, and you'll discover that as we go through this course and you start getting some results. As you start running ad campaigns, you start getting results, and you look at the numbers and the net profit and the costs and how far away or how over you are from break even. We're going to talk about all these things. And as you do these things, even when we get into organic stuff, we start doing Google SEO and we start creating a lot of content and we start driving traffic that way. What we're going to see is we're going to start seeing the results and where they come from in our business. And really, you use the 80-20 rule. You realize that 80% of your profit will come from like 20% of, I'm sorry, it's the opposite. 20% of your best customers and your best sources will produce 80% of your results. And so we need to hone in on whatever that 20% is and ignore the outliers and a data anomaly, which is basically can be an error, it can be false data, which happens a lot because if you've been doing any kind of split testing or conversion tracking or anything else for any period of time with like a shopping cart system or tagging system or anything like that, you'll say, hey, why does my Facebook ad data not add up to my Google Analytics data and it doesn't equal my shopping cart data? This is showing I had 400 visitors from this campaign. I only got 389 according to this and this. So what you'll quickly realize is data itself is off by a little bit on a lot of these services because sometimes services double count people that come back instead of it being a unique visitor, or it'll double count a conversion and things like that. So you got to pay attention to the data and really understand where the anomalies are, what the errors are. When it comes to sales, which is what we're after here, making money, you really want to carefully look at your sales data when scoring different traffic campaigns. For example, you'll get people that submit an order twice in your shopping cart. It just happens. And depending on your shopping cart system, it'll book that revenue. It'll count it twice, and it'll book the total revenue. So if you sell something, let's say for $500, somebody accidentally orders twice, you're booking $1,000 in gross revenue, when really you're only doing $500 in gross revenue. So if you were to take that money and divide it into the total number of visitors for a campaign, your value per visitor on a production basis is twice as high than it really is if you don't realize you had a double order. In this case, if there were just those two orders. Anyways, that's important. So making data-driven decisions with seasonal data is another major mistake. People will run split tests or they'll run campaigns and they'll see a spike in their business during winter months, or if their business has something to do with summer months like camping or one of these other examples we've been using. They may see spikes in trends and conversions that aren't consistent year-round. So you have to be very, very careful making decisions on data where there are other things at play, like seasons. If people sell football jerseys or T-shirts or something, then they're going to see more sales during football season. They may see higher than average conversion rates during football season than they do during the rest of the year. Maybe someone's going to a tailgating party and they want to buy a jersey, so when they search for their favorite team, they may convert at a much higher rate than someone during the year going, oh, I'm going to go look at jerseys and kind of see what's out there. Maybe I want a new jersey for my team in the off season. So you have to pay attention to make sure you're not making decisions based on seasonal activity. And most businesses will see some seasonal activity depending on what it is. Some do, some don't. But if your business is seasonal, you've got to pay close attention to that. Not focusing on the highest leverage points. We'll talk a little bit more about this. I'll define this. There are basically some key leverage points along the way, like your ad creative, which is the ad itself, how it's designed, the copy, and then, of course, you have a landing page with an opt-in form, the core offer, the follow-up process, lead or sale monetization. We'll get to those things. Another mistake is relying on scientifically invalid split tests. I'm going to talk about split testing and why it's so important. Not mastering Kaizen, I talked about what that was, which is the gradual improvement, and it's a big mistake that marketers, they don't really realize how important gradual improvement is, so they fail to master how to do it and how to implement it in their business and how to execute on it. Not realizing that sometimes that slightly losing campaigns are actually winners, they're actually profitable. And that's because they don't understand different growth coefficients with traffic, and how how one visitor isn't purely one visitor, depending on the rest of your business model and marketing model. And I'm going to teach you how to recycle traffic and do other, basically you can turn traffic into getting referrals as well as having viral effects. And so by not realizing that visitors are worth more than they are, they may cut off campaigns that may be at break even or slightly under with a chance to monetize in the next month or so, because they don't get the math and they don't get the big picture. So we're gonna cover that. And of course, this is very, very key. It's a big common marketing mistake for failure to do what I call go smaller to grow bigger. If I could teach you one thing in this entire course, it would be what I'm about to say. When you have traffic campaigns, we're going to get into this when we start setting up AdWords campaigns and Facebook campaigns, and if you buy media and do things with banners or other things, even if you do some SEO content marketing, When you start finding things that are working, let's take it on a simple level. We'll talk about AdWords for a second, which is we're getting ready to come up with that module here in the course. When you run a campaign and you group a bunch of keywords together and you start getting conversions, when you see the keywords that are getting conversions, you want to pull those keywords out and set up separate campaigns for them. The reason why is every keyword, for example, and let's just use this for now outside of all these other traffic methods, but every keyword, all these query-driven types of campaigns where people are searching in Google for things, these keywords are almost like individual businesses in and of themselves. That one keyword can generate you so much money for your business. The more you isolate it and the more you optimize it, you can really, it's like pouring water on a plant. You can help it grow and help maximize the profit from it. But when you have a keyword that's combined with other keywords and they're all sharing the same ad copy, they're sharing the same landing page, they're sharing the same marketing to message match and communication throughout the whole flow, you're not going to be able to maximize it. Because all keywords are different. The psychology someone has when they search for something for one keyword than another is different. So that matters. And so we want to start going smaller by taking larger campaigns and pulling out the granular elements that are getting us conversions and then isolating those and maximizing those. So I call that go smaller to grow bigger. But those are some common marketing mistakes that people make, and you want to eliminate these as much as possible, if not all of them.